What an honor it is for me to participate in the celebration of Washington SyCip and the immense impact he made, not just on the world and the Philippines, but on many lives, on families like mine and individuals like myself. He could see right into one's soul and heart and connected with them once he discovered a shared purpose to explore unknown frontiers on Asia Society trips, to help the less fortunate with education, to connect Asians, to connect businesses. His interests and concerns were so vast they would not have fit into the minds and hearts of many altogether. I think what inspired me most about Wash was his deep sense of conviction born out of his belief in mankind. He was so determined to improve public education in my country because he benefited from the public school system. He believed in the importance to have Americans and Asians more deeply understand each other because he was a Filipino American. On the latter part of his life, he realized that the form of democracy we all embraced because we love America may not work for developing countries like ours, and he never shied away from saying so. His wisdom, energy, and generous support for Asia Society, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Asia Business Council, the Asian Institute of Management, Columbia University, INSEAD, Synergia, the UP Singing Ambassadors, CARD, MRI, to name a few he spoke often about, are a glimmer into the breadth of his deep determination to contribute to a better Philippines and a more equitable world. Wash's purpose-driven life connects us all and continues to inspire us. He was an amazing, loyal friend. He was always there when needed. He remembered what was important, often in context of history. His friends here and abroad love him on top of respect him. I shall try to stay worthy of that friendship by keeping the impact he made on the world, on the Philippines, on the United States, and on our lives forever alive in the caverns of my memories. Thank you, Washington SyCip. We salute you.
Washington SyCip, the Patriot. The day after I retired from diplomatic service, Washington SyCip invited me to help him continue serving the country by creating jobs and providing education for Filipinos who needed it most. For 7 years and 7 months, I watched him work incessantly and consistently as he promoted the Philippines on every occasion. I was always amazed to see how he knew so many leaders from around the world, as well as CEOs, but was very fond of young, budding entrepreneurs whom he always liked to help. He said he had gained this experience from his father, Albino SyCip, who helped a lot of young entrepreneurs in those days and who have become leading businessmen of the Philippines today. On his 90th birthday, his friends in New York gathered not only to greet him, but to celebrate the life of a man whom Henry Kissinger called someone, a friend, who turned knowledge, information to knowledge, and knowledge to wisdom. This year, we celebrate 100 years of Washington SyCip. I thank the Asia Society for this occasion to celebrate his life and his work. Thank you.
Washington SyCip is a visionary and philanthropist, and a true son of the Philippines. In his lifetime, he invested in his people, in the people of the Philippines, and firmly believed in Asia as a key hub of growth that deserved the world's attention. He is known as much for his business acumen as his philanthropic contributions, having relentlessly championed education for years. His determination to contribute to a better Philippines was no more evident than when Washington, known as Wash by his family and friends, founded W. SyCip and Company following the end of World War II, wanting to support his country's reconstruction process. His company, later renamed SGV and Company, soon expanded in the country, and then beyond Filipino shores in the 1960s. In the early 1980s, it had 4,000 staff in 10 Asian countries. SGV became the first multinational Filipino company and dominated the accounting industry in Asia, and set worldwide standards in the field. As Wash built his business, his priority was to invest in his people, providing them with training to sharpen their technical skills and business development know-how, like how to socialize with clients and dress for success. It became a hallmark of his modus operandi. As he rose to prominence, Wash never forgot to give back. In 1966, he founded the SGV Foundation, which provides financial assistance, grants, and scholarships to institutions of learning, entrepreneurs, students, and educators. In his biography, he relates he wanted to develop social consciousness among his partners and encouraged them to contribute to the foundation, and set the example by contributing larger than anyone else. Since then, SGV and its partners donate part of their annual earnings to the foundation. He also founded educational institutions, including the Asian Institute of Management, to nurture the next generation of leaders, and helped establish the Philippine Business for Social Progress, the largest business-led NGO that spearheads the business sector's efforts to reduce poverty in the Philippines. Washington is also a dear member of Asia Society. As founding chair of Asia Society Philippine Foundation, established in 1999, with a mission to promote understanding of Asia. He also became the first Asian on the Asia Society Board of Trustees. With his wisdom, energy, and generous support, he helped build from the ground up Asia Society Philippines, with whom Asia Society Hong Kong collaborates closely. In honor of all the support he has given to both centers over the years, the US tour of our first commission, Chamber Opera Mila, was dedicated to Wash. Without a doubt, Washington is a shining example of having lived a life of purpose and vision that will continue to inspire. And we are honored to recognize him this evening.
Thank you, Doris Ho, and thank you, Ambassador Albert, for your great leadership and friendship and support of my father over the many years. My father admired people who supported the Philippines, which he considered his homeland, with their wit, their wisdom, and their perseverance. And nobody epitomizes these qualities better than the two of you. On behalf of my sister Vicky and my brother Robert, I thank the ASHK Society for remembering my father during this annual gala dinner, which also marks the 10th anniversary of your wonderful headquarters complex in Hong Kong. My father served as an ASHK Society trustee for almost 4 decades. And in his last term, he took great pride in being the oldest and longest serving trustee of the ASHK Society, an organization which he deeply cared for. When Ronnie Chan and Henrietta Four agreed to be co-chairs in 2011, I remember that he was overjoyed with the ASHK Society being in such good hands. His perception was further reinforced by the opening of the stunning ASHK Society Hong Kong Center, which we are celebrating today. Today's event also brings together many people who were meaningful in my father's life. I would especially like to congratulate his fellow honoree, Lulu Wang. Lulu's prompt action once saved my father's life in New York, as she had to rush him to the hospital from one of their board meetings. He always enjoyed meals with Lulu and also with Betsy Cohen, another honoree tonight, outside of the more formal board meetings. For many decades, Ronnie Chan has been an energetic force, not only for the ASHK Society, but also in my father's life. My father loved learning all throughout his life, and perhaps the last lesson in my father's life was from Ronnie Chan. Less than 2 weeks before he passed away, my father was with Ronnie in Taipei, and Ronnie introduced him to Chinese brush calligraphy. My father was so pleased to be able to use a brush in writing the Chinese characters of his name under Ronnie's tutelage. Thank you, Ronnie, for all that you've done for the ASHK Society and for my father. And congratulations to the ASHK Society Hong Kong on this 10th anniversary celebration.